Greetings, citizens of York. My name is Alasdair Lord and I'm a candidate for York Central at the general election on the 4th of July, and I would like you to vote me in as your Member of Parliament for York Central. Now in this video I'm just going to tell you a little bit about myself, and tomorrow and in the run-up to the general election I'll post more videos about my policies. So first of all, I was born and grew up in York. I'm from Heworth originally. I went to Tang Hall Nursery, Tang Hall Junior School, Tang Hall Primary. After I passed my 11 plus in 1982, I went to Nunthorpe Grammar School. In 85, all the schools in York became comprehensive, so I was at Milthorpe Comprehensive for 2 years. And I was part of the last year that did O-levels in 1987. So after my O-levels, I went to York Sixth Form College for 2 years and the York College of Arts and Technology for a year. I did various different jobs when I was younger. I worked at Terry's Chocolate Factory, for example, and when I was 20 years old, I went to live and work abroad for the first time. I went to Leiden, which is a city in Holland, and I worked in various factories in towns near Leiden. From 92 to 96, I was a student at the University of Portsmouth, and I have a degree in Latin American Studies. After I graduated in 1996, I qualified to be an English as a foreign language teacher, and towards the end of 96, I went to work in Thailand for the first time. Now, since I graduated in 1996, I've worked approximately 9 years in Thailand, I've worked 4 years in Oman, I've worked about 2¼ years in Saudi Arabia, and I've worked for about a year in Spain. Now I speak fluent Spanish and fluent Thai, but I grew up monolingual. Now my point is this. Firstly, I'm York born and bred. I've got York running through my veins. It's not just that I was educated in York, but my grandfather was educated in York, my father was educated in York, my daughter's been educated in York. But also, I have an extremely broad range of experience. So I've spent more than a decade and a half of my life living abroad. When I was living in Thailand, I witnessed a military coup. When I was living in Mexico, I witnessed a peasant uprising. When I lived in Thailand, I ran from a tsunami. I've got an extremely broad range of experience, but also I have a connection with the city of York that the other candidates simply don't have. So I've also worked in a variety of York language schools. So I've worked at York Associates, I've worked at English in York, and I've worked at the English Language Centre. It's the language school in New Street. It's been renamed now. I also worked at York University as an English for academic purposes tutor for about 16 months, more or less. And at the moment, I'm currently working as a supply cover supervisor and a teaching assistant for special educational needs children. So since January, I've worked at more than half a dozen York primary and secondary schools. I think I've got the experience and the connection with York to fully represent the citizens of York as a Member of Parliament. So I would like you to vote me in on the 4th of July. Thank you for giving me your time today, and remember, vote Lord.